You. And will you start us off with introductions this evening as well?
Certainly. I'm Michelle Kuntz and I'm representing Orono Schools.
I'm Francesca Pagan Umar from Eden Prairie Public Schools.
Hi, I'm Regina Neville, representing Edina Public Schools.
Crystal Brackey from Richfield Public Schools.
Ruthie Dallas, representing Brooklyn Center Community Schools.
Hi, I'm Heidi Marty, representing Westaka Public Schools.
Hey there, Sarah Johansson, representing Wayzata Public Schools.
And we are joined in the boardroom by a number of district staff members. Thank you so much for being here. And wanted to acknowledge that board members Ann Casey, Jackie Mosqueda Jones, Sam Sant, and Shannon Andreessen are not able to be with us this evening, but send their regards.
Madam Chair, may I just mention that I suggested that at the end of the year, the leaders could take the night off unless that they were here for the agenda. So you aren't seeing the usual leadership group here. I thought maybe that deserved an explanation.
Fully support that decision
Yeah,
and the night off for our very hardworking team. So we move to the next item on our agenda, which is approval of the general meeting agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Sarah Johansson, a second by Ruthie Dallas. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, and the agenda is approved. Next is open forum for community comments. I do not believe we had anybody request time with the board this evening.
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We move to approval of the consent agenda containing routine business items that we will take action on as a group. Unless there is an item that somebody would like to request removed for individual discussion, we could entertain a motion of the consent agenda as presented.
So move. Second.
We have a motion by Francesca Pagan Umar and a second by Heidi Marty. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, and the consent agenda is approved. And we move now to such a fun part of our agenda, sharing the success and recognitions. And we have a number of things to celebrate this evening, so I'll turn it over to our superintendent.
Thank you. Good evening, board members. I'll speak to the Above and Beyond winner, and Rachel has a graduation video to share with the entire group. So this month, our South Education Alternative staff collectively were nominated for the Above and Beyond award. And as you know, it's been a year all over, but the SECA staff particularly were impacted by the February 1st event. And it was important to note that that group before February 1st worked so hard to individualize and get students what they need to get past the credit attainment line and get their diploma. And certainly February 1st could have really interrupted that effort with all the grieving and stress that people were under. But I'm told that they actually just doubled down, and their support for the 4 students involved, as well as the students who continued to come to school, was just unwavering. They were down to their last ounce of energy, I think, when I gave them the award, but they are a phenomenal group of educators who really care about kids and will go the extra mile for any student that walks through their doors of the South Education Alternative Program. So I was happy to give them a collective award, the first collective award that we've had in the Up and Beyond category. So they will, they're not here this evening, as you might imagine, but we'll see if we can gather them up for a future meeting when the time is right, and Rachel will help with that. So.
Well deserved. Feels like the right group of people to have our first ever shared award.
Good, very good. And of course, many of you were able to attend some of the graduation events this week, and graduation always comes at the perfect time, because there are times in years like this particularly, you wonder about the progress you're making, and then you watch graduation after graduation, and it really hits you that this is such critical work and it's impactful work, and you see the result of that. We spent a little bit of time yesterday in our leadership meeting just talking about things that that we observed in the graduation, and a couple that I think were noteworthy was how much more student voice we heard this year. The student speakers were to everybody around the district that was a student speaker was just left their own message. So they were tearful and funny and their own message, but they were messages that impacted the audience as well. And it was just a privilege to be able to hear them. But I think I also heard a lot of thank yous to staff, just really saying, kind of reminding you of what makes the connection in education are those relationships. And students shared a lot about the staff that meant a lot to them, and why when they were ready to give up, there was a staff person there to lift them up. And so it was just the perfect ending to the school year that lifted everybody up this week, myself included. So Rachel has put together a video. Do you want to go ahead and take it away, Rachel?
Sure, I'll just give a short introduction. We've had 13 graduation celebrations this week. And me and a couple of colleagues have been running around capturing photos, those really special moments when families see their students graduate, the hugs, the tears, the joy that all are really experiencing. So we just have a little collection of those moments for you to view. Many of you were there to be able to see and experience that in person. And it's always nice to have our board members experience those moments with our students and their families and staff. Take it away, Juanine.
Lastly, I want to say thank you to my family, Gateway staff, my friends, and all my fellow classmates. Congratulations.
And I'd now like to draw your attention to section 5.2 on the agenda, where we discreetly added and other highlights to this item.
Well done.
Because over the last 2 months, we've been secretly collecting voices and messages from across the district for people to say their farewell to Sandy. And so this other highlights video is the highlights reel from just some of those voices. And Sandy, we're giving people just another week to record any additional video messages, but we will also hand over a flash drive with the full clips of the videos and Jamboard of written messages from people across our district and others that were part of the District 287 community while you've been our superintendent.
That's very nice and very surprised. I'm glad it was edited ahead of time, right?
I wish you the best as you go on your next journey. You deserve lots of rest and relaxation, and definitely know that you have made a difference in many people's lives.
When I think about you as a leader, the words that come to mind are empathetic, caring, bold, courageous, and simply put, you're a badass.
I've always appreciated how approachable you have been in the guidance and advice that you've given me over time. Take care and best wishes.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity, Sandy. Good luck in your future endeavors.
I'm one of his students. He's a good teacher.
We'll certainly miss your persistence in pushing for the best and most equitable learning opportunities for all students. Best wishes for the road ahead. Take care.
I've been really impressed by your willingness to speak up about our need to address equity in this district, and you have been and you continue to be unabashed about it. And I'm really impressed and proud of you for that. I appreciate your leadership.
There's so many things I could say. In short, you leave our new superintendent some big shoes to fill. I'm confident she's up for the task, but rest assured, you will be missed. Thank you.
I really appreciate how you've pushed our district to consider racial equity at a high level, and it's really made an impact in my life. So thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
District 287 has been a forerunner in trauma-centered practices and racial equity. You are the embodiment of responsive, innovative solutions.
I've always felt so supported in our district, and I know that support always started with you and kind of trickled down through all the staff, and I thank you for that.
Your tireless efforts in the areas of equity, mental health, safety, and the unique needs of intermediate districts and the students we serve will continue to impact lives for many years to come.
I just wanted to wish you the very best in this next phase of your life and express my appreciation for all you have done, and I'm sure will continue to do, to advocate for children and families, all children and families.
When I think about your time and just the few years that you and I have had together, I think about your deep love and care for our students and for our staff.
Just your legacy of, the buildings in 287 that we started under your leadership. It's just, you've done so much, and just want to say thank you and wish you all the best in retirement.
Good job, Sandy.
You're a great superintendent.
You are gonna
Great superintendent.
I am proud to say that I have had you as a leader and a mentor, and you have touched thousands of people, and you are so student-centered and so staff-centered, and I appreciate all of your hard work, and I hope that your retirement is amazing.
I just appreciate your leadership and all the things that you've brought to 287 to better the students and staff. So thank you. Happy retirement.
Just can't imagine teaching anywhere else.
And so I wanted to thank you and wish you the best as you keep going on your adventures in life. All the best, Sandy.
I will miss you greatly. There are so many memories over these past nearly 20 years, and I will cherish them all.
You've always been student-centered and committed to equity, and that has had a big influence on me, so thank you.
Hi, Sandy. My name is Kim Hauge. My son is Sean Hauge. He's gone to the North Education Center for several years. And although I haven't met you personally, I want to thank you for all you've done for the students and for my son.
I'm just really glad to be at 287 and happy to have worked under you. Thank you for what you've done.
Sandy, you live boldly. You love fiercely. You're an amazing woman and an outstanding educator. Have a great retirement. Let's stay in touch.
Oh, thank you so much. Good thing it stopped because the emotions are starting to show. That was very nice and a surprise indeed. Thank you. Maybe it had to do with the surprise that I made with Rachel a meeting or two ago, but you know, you don't work this long in one place without feeling like this is family. And so there's certainly some emotions about walking away. And yet, good hands. I trust Marcy and the rest of the board and leaders to just carry on the work. And these kids and families need a lot of advocacy, and it's wonderful working with people that feel that advocacy is important and act on it. So thank you for all of you for what you've done for our students and families. I will say seeing that mother up there reminded me of yesterday. A parent stopped me on her way into Ann Bremer, and she was pushing a big cart, and she had a whole bunch of gift bags. And she looked at me, and we both had masks on. I have no idea who she was, but she stopped me and she said, "I have a gift bag for you." And so she gave me a gift bag, and it had a wonderful bouquet in it. And she had other gift bags ready to take in. And when I got home, I was lifting it in the house, and I realized it also had a bottle of wine. And that was the first time I've been given a bottle of wine as a present from a parent. So
I'm going to give this. This is the year.
this was the year. So thank you, everyone. I go away with so many memories. I will stay in whatever fashion I can to advocate for this population of students and their families, because that's what we should all be doing. And I'm grateful for all the experiences I've had here. It's been, as I've said, a wonderful job, the best job anybody could have. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
Okay, I think we can. I know we're not at the very end. There's another thing to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very nice.
We're just going to keep spreading out the celebration.
Okay, all right.
It's celebration
As
long
season.
as possible.
It's a celebration.
And Rachel, as always, credit to your skills and being able to put together a graduation video within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, that as well.
That is
Wonderful. Okay, with that, we will move to our next agenda item, which is in the financial report section, and it is the food services year in report. It's so exciting to have you with us in person. We've done this online for the last several years.
Wow.
Well, I'm not sure how you follow that. Do my best. So, good evening. I'm Sarah Streifels, Food Service Manager for the district, and I'm happy to be here this evening to share some highlights from this year, as well as our plans for summer meals and for next school year. So this school year, USDA authorized the use of the seamless summer option, which allowed us to continue to provide free meals to all students. Several USDA COVID-19 waivers also allowed us to provide students with meals during times of distance learning and gave us flexibilities in meeting meal pattern requirements due to supply chain issues. The Seamless Summer Option was a new program to our district this year, which required additional staff training and processes to be implemented to meet the regulations required under this program. Free breakfast and lunch were available to students at school, as well as through meal pack pickups and meal delivery during our short times of distance learning or during individual student quarantines. USDA Seamless Summer Authorization and COVID-19 waivers do expire on June 30th. As challenging as it has been to navigate through COVID-19 over the past couple of years, our biggest challenge yet has been related to the chain supply issues that we've experienced this year. Manufacturers struggled to get needed food and supplies to our vendors, which caused frequent outages, requiring menu changes, shortened menu cycles, and the use of the waivers when menus were unable to meet regulations. It took flexibility, creativity, and collaboration with our food vendor to ensure adequate food supplies to meet our students' needs. Manufacturers have reported that shortages are expected to continue through 2024. The challenge will be made more difficult next year since USDA COVID waivers surrounding these menu flexibilities are expiring June 30th, and no additional assistance has been provided by USDA to help with these continuing supply chain issues. A few weeks before the start of this school year, we were informed by our food vendor that they would be unable to service our district this year due to driver shortages. Within 2 weeks, we had to onboard a new vendor to get food in time for the start of school. We were able to secure service through Cisco West, although at a significant price increase. I knew at that time we needed to find a solution to these rising costs for future years. So throughout this year, in collaboration with Osseo Area Schools Food Service Department, I was able to secure a joint purchasing agreement through their food vendor bid process for next school year. This joint agreement will cut our per case fees by almost 50% starting July 1st.
Wow.
This year, we served just under 48,000 breakfasts and 53,000 lunches. Having students back to more in-person learning and the continuation of free meals for all definitely helped us increase our meal counts over last school year. We may see a decline in meal counts next year as we begin to move back to operating under normal USDA programs. This year, MDE conducted an administrative review on the food service program. Many documents and menus were uploaded for their review, and an on-site review was conducted at North Education Center in April. The MDE reviewer closed the review with no findings and commented that a no findings review is unprecedented. She was very impressed with our procedures, meal claiming systems, use of waivers, and staff's knowledge of USDA regulations and their interactions with students at the site. So this year, food service and facility staff participated in monthly racial equity trainings. The trainings were conducted both in person and virtually. Videos, articles, and podcasts were used to prepare staff for small group discussions on various racial equity topics. We plan to continue this training into next school year. And a big thank you to Radius and the racial equity team for their assistance in planning and leading these sessions with us. So what happens next year? I wish I knew. No. We kind of know. I don't know. We'll see if anything changes. But for now, due to the expiring waivers and no reauthorization of the seamless summer option by USDA, MDE is directing us to return to utilizing the National School Breakfast and Lunch programs. These programs in the past have had lower reimbursement rates and no meal pattern flexibilities. So meals will no longer be free for all students. Students will need to submit a qualifying meal application to qualify for free or reduced price meals. And those students that do not qualify will need to return to paying for meals. I have already been working with our communications department to get this information out to families so they are aware of this change for next year, as well as to encourage families to submit applications timely. We will not allow students to go hungry, and our district meal debiting procedure ensures that all students receive a meal whether or not they have the funds to pay for it. We will work on possible fundraising initiatives next school year to help cover some meal debt, as well as utilize leftover funds from our Philando Castile Foundation donation that we received in school year 2019-20, and work closely with school social workers to assist families with this change. North Education Center has continued to qualify for the community eligibility provision due to their high percent of direct certification students. So we will be able to continue providing free meals to all students there. However, none of our other sites qualify for this provision. So under nutrition, prior to COVID-19, we were following meal pattern regulations set by the 2010 Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. Several sodium reductions were supposed to have been implemented over the past couple of years, but were put on hold due to COVID. USDA has agreed to continue to hold these requirements through next school year, but will require a 10% sodium reduction in school year 2023-24. They will also allow low-fat flavored milk to continue to be served and will require 80% of all grains served to be whole grain, which is up from the 50% requirement during COVID. USDA has indicated that they will provide further guidance next school year on when they will expect us to return to all of the requirements set within the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. Although today was the last day of the school year, we will begin serving free summer meals to youth 18 and under on Monday. So we have one day, we'll get there. Meals will be provided at North, South, and West Education Centers this summer and are open to community participation. The schedules and meal times have been aligned with our summer school programming. Thank you for your time this evening and for your support over the past couple of years as we have continued to navigate through the challenges that COVID-19 have brought on. I'm proud of all the work our food service team has accomplished and look forward to continuing to lead this team into next school year. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have at this time.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Sandy, I think is going to say a word first, and then we'll open it up to the board.
Thank you. I just want to take this opportunity. We have a remarkable food service leader here in the district with Sarah at the helm to explain how she's transformed our food service and the popularity and the use would be impossible for me. But just know through her very hard work and skills, she really has transformed our program. And we are very fortunate to have her as a leader, and I can't thank you enough. And that audit, and that was a quote that no findings was kind of unprecedented in that field. So we're grateful for your scrutiny of everything that needs to be scrutinized in this complex world of food preparation. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, you're here to that. Are there questions or comments from the board?
I would say that I appreciate so much the work that you and everyone else in food service did for that administrative review to come out without findings. I know that it's like a labyrinth. There's so much detail, so it really must have taken a lot of attention to detail. So I appreciate that and your energy.
Thank you.
I just want to thank you for your work, Sarah. I have appreciated your reports every year. And I applaud your efforts and the whole team at 287 for making sure that no student goes hungry. I'm grateful for the Castile family. We've had the opportunity to have a presentation by Philando Castile's mom, which has been just extraordinary. I know there's a lot of effort to support no hungry kids. Just my general thought, I'm sure is shared, we shouldn't have to do fundraisers to provide meals. It's not okay. This is a systemic issue. It's much broader than our district. I know it impacts all of our home districts and throughout the state. So I think it's more advocacy work that I know I can take on with my local legislators to address. But I'm grateful for what you're doing. This is extraordinary. Thank you.
Yes, I know the school nutrition associations, both nationally and through Minnesota, are still advocating for the continuation of the COVID waivers and for the programs. So we'll see what happens between now and the start of school.
Sarah, I just want to thank you for everything you're doing on behalf of children who go here and those outside as well.
Thank you.
It must be extremely frustrating for you every time something gets changed and it is not in our favor, so to speak. So keep it up. Take an energy bar if you need.
A healthy one.
Yeah, of course.
Low sodium.
Sodium.
Oh, great.
Yeah, when COVID first started, I said, "You want me to do what?" She comes to me, I'm just like, "We got this."
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What you shared about the scramble at the beginning of the year, like the way you're talking about it now is very calm, very cool, very collected. I can't imagine what that was like in the moment. I suspect you're, you have some duck-like qualities where you're very calm and cool on top, and then there's the frantic things happening below the surface.
May have gotten a frantic phone.
It's incredibly impressive. And also just wanted you to know that we've had a number of conversations here in board meetings over the last couple of months, specifically talking about the meals and just the, like, frankly, horrifying reality that we are putting students and families back in by taking away these provisions that people have grown accustomed to and rely on, and that we are actually like willfully making this change right now, and how unjust that feels. So know that you have a group of people all around you that are supporting you and your team's work, and as Regina said, doing everything that we can do to change those realities at the state and federal level.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, returning to calling kids free, reduced, and paid is a huge step back.
It is, absolutely.
Agreed.
Okay, I don't see anybody else with hands up. So I know next on the agenda is actually approving the annual food service program resolution. May, is there anything that you would like to introduce on this? No, okay. I wasn't sure on the agenda. It said that you were going to present it, and that it includes changes in the meal prices.
Well, I can.
You wanted
a couple of comments.
Perfect.
So the only changes in the meal prices are in the lunch prices. And we were required to increase our lunch by at least a dime. We increased it by a quarter, right? For students, and was it also a quarter for staff? Yes.
Yeah, and we based our increases on member districts. So basically, there was a really big spreadsheet for kind of all the schools across Minnesota to participate in what they were planning to raise their meal prices to cover all the supply chain issues and whatnot. So we kind of based our pricing on what the other districts were doing.
Any questions for May or Sarah about the resolution before we take action?
So just to confirm, the increase was 25 cents increase for the lunches for students, and also a 25 cents increase for the adult lunches. Breakfast remains the same. Thank you. I'm sure that's less than the rate of inflation.
It is.
So hard work to get that done, I'm sure.
Okay, with that, we could entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Heidi Marty and a second by Michelle Coons. Any further discussion? As this is a resolution, Regina is going to poll the board.
Okay, Shannon Andreessen is not today. Crystal Brackey.
Aye.
Ann Casey is absent. Ruthie Dallas.
Yes.
Sarah Johansson.
Yes.
Michelle Coons.
Aye.
Heidi Marty.
Aye.
Jackie Mosqueda Jones is absent. Regina Neville, I vote yes. Francesca Pagan Umar.
Aye.
Sam Sant is absent. And the motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you again for your work. We move into the board business section of the agenda. The first action item and the chair report section is approval for our annual organizational memberships. And in board book, you can see a list of the specific organizations that we have an annual membership to, the fees from this past year and the fees for this coming year. A number of, I would say, quite small increases. Again, as Francesca just said, we have a lot of inflation happening, so it's understandable that there are some small increases here. But we are being asked to approve renewal of Intermediate District 287's membership in this group of organizations. Are there any comments or questions before we take action? Ruthie.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Do we have a list available of the costs for membership? for these
Yes.
Organizations?
It's here in our packet. I can read it out loud
Very
if that
well.
would be
Okay,
helpful.
I overlooked that.
No, that's okay. Would you like to hear them before we vote?
Yeah, that would be.
So we have the Association of Educational Services Agencies, which is $950 for the coming year. The Association of Metropolitan School Districts, AMSD, which is $7,200 a year. The Educational Cooperative Service Unit, which is $975 for the coming year. The Minnesota School Board Association, or commonly known as MSBA, for $9,942. Minnesota Association of School Administrators, $1,385, and the National School Boards Association, $2,292.
And we still are members of NSBA, even though MSBA pulled out, right? Oh, okay. That's fine.
And I think that's because we have a separate membership. I don't think every district does. There are some districts that only have membership with
One or the other.
MSBA. And so with the canceling of their membership with NSBA, those districts are going to have to decide if they want to separately join NSBA or not. So we're fortunate that we don't have to make that decision. We're already there.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? Okay, if not, we could entertain a motion to approve renewal of the institutional memberships and dues for the 2022-2023 school year.
So moved.
We have a motion by Francesca Pagan Umar and a second by Sarah Johansson. Any further comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, and the annual organizational memberships are approved. So next up is going to be a transition to a closed session, which is allowable under Minnesota State Statute 13D.05, Subdivision 3D, to evaluate the performance of the superintendent. And knowing that coming out of the closed session, I, as board chair, will prepare a summary of the meeting and present it at the board's next regular meeting, which will take place on Thursday, June 23rd. So with that, do we have a motion to move into closed session?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Michelle Coons and a second by Heidi Marty. Any comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, and at 7:13, we will begin the transition into closed session. Marcy, thank you for being with us. Enjoy your final days in St. Paul and have an excellent vacation. Yes, we will.
Take good notes about the trip.
Are you in the market for
You deserve it.
Good night, everybody.
Flexibility coming.
Right.
It's back on. Okay, thank you. So we are back in open session and just have a couple of things before we adjourn this evening. The one date that I wanted to put on everybody's radar is Thursday, June 23rd, 6:30 p.m. We have our final board meeting for the month of June before we take our version of a summer break where we will not be meeting as a board in the month of July and only have one meeting in the month of August. So hopefully we will see everybody here on Thursday, June 23rd. So with that, we have time for once around the table and any announcements or information that members of the board would like to share with each other and our viewing public. The one I was going to share, and maybe I should have shared it in the graduation section, but it was Richfield High School's graduation last night, and we had two absolutely incredible student speakers. And one of them gets up there in her speech, and she starts talking about this incredible English teacher that she had named John Fila. Who is an intermediate district 287 teacher. And I just got like such a rush from hearing this absolutely incredible young woman named John Fila. He was the only teacher that she named in her speech and the impact that she had on him. So I wanted to share that tonight, and I'm going to send John an email.
Great.
So that he hears that from me directly as well. But like, she was a powerhouse and it was a wonderful little moment. And I made sure that everybody around me on stage knew that he was an intermediate district 287 teacher. Anything else? Okay, with that, we could entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Francesca Pagan Umar, a second by Michelle Kuntz. Any final discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The chair votes aye, and the meeting is adjourned at 8:00 p.m. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, and nice job.
Wow.
Yeah, it was such